Alright, today we're going to work on something that's been in my possession for many years and something I grew up with, which is a Sunbeam Toastermatic. This is, we're going to do a little bit of a service. These are getting sort of a bit more popular now, and there's a video from Technology Connections, which I'll try and put a link in the description below, that covers these fairly in depth. But one thing I've not found is anybody that actually opens them up and services them. My senior engineer, who's off camera over here, once upon a time when our electricity commission was state-owned, he did appliance repairs, including these. And as a result, we happen to have an actual manual for one as well. I'm not sure if I'll get round to scanning that in or not, but if I do, I'll chuck that below as well. But yeah, this has been in service for a while. I'm going to empty the crumb tray out before we start, and then we'll get stuck into it. Okay, so we've got our crumb tray empty. We're going to use it on a piece of newspaper here, just to be a bit kind on all the surfaces. And I think we're going to need a screwdriver, which we have a kit for here. We'll have a look. We've got to give it a bit of a service. I'm guessing we've got to take handles and stuff off first from this one. So we go all the way upside down. Alright, so we've got a flat blade, and we want the strain relief for the cord. Right, 2 screws here for the strain relief.
Now when you undo the mains cord, you have to mark the mains polarity.
Okay, so I've got it recorded on video, but I can remember that the blue is on my left. So that's obviously important for grounding, I'm guessing, because it's an earthed appliance. So if it has an earth fault and the polarity is backwards, it can liven the chassis. Is that why we're worrying about that?
No, the early model toasters had a single pole mains switch.
Yep.
Newer models had 2 pole mains switch.
Okay.
Wasn't quite so critical.
Yep. Right, there's our lead removed. So I'm guessing we're going to do... What have we got? Is there a couple under here? No, there isn't.
No, 2 screws on them.
Yeah, these ones. These are Bakelite, aren't they?
Yep.
Right. Precursor to plastic. I'm guessing the mains lead has to come out because this base has got to pull away, and it can't do that if there's a lead in the strain relief.
3 screws there.
Yep. Okay, so do the middle one first.
Doesn't matter.
Alright. Sign of the times, they're all slotted screws.
2 screwdrivers will dismantle anything.
And also stab a big hole in your hands.
Anything. Hand was in the way.
Alright.
Now
So
pop the spring latch this end.
spring latch, yep. Alright, then we should be able to lift this off, shall we?
No.
No? What have we got? Oh, I've got to disconnect that, okay. Yep. Alright, that comes off. We'll give that a clean later.
And you got 4 screws.
In these holes. These are all slotted screws too, I guess. If I can find the slot that's missing, the screw there and there.
Oh yeah.
We're missing those screws there, yep. So they are missing. So do these terminals stay with the Bakelite, or do they push through?
A bit different on this one. Yeah. 100 screws.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I know there's a few variations of these. Okay, so that should lift away now and spread crumbs everywhere. Alright, this is where we vacuum it out. Definitely the crumbs have accumulated. So I might give them a rinse in some warm water in a minute. So these are our element wires, or basically the main supply. This is our radiant adjustment, which I'm guessing this adjusts the gap in the thermostat. So the way these work is the elements in here, as they heat up, they contract, and it will lower the toast down, and when it will detect heat reflecting off the toast on the thermostat. When it reaches a threshold, it'll trip, and then as it cools down, the wires contract, and it pulls the mechanism through and pushes the toast back up. But we do want to look at the adjustment in here at some point too. But yeah, I need to clean all this stuff out.
Terminals inside, you can get a build up.
Yep, then they have an arc over and catch fire.
No, not really, they just blow up.
Yep.
Okay, to there and to there.
Alright, what I might do is take that outside and just tip those off. Okay, so we've got 4 screws for the frame here, do we? Are these bladed or are these Phillips? They look like posi drive. I'll put my thumb on it just to slow the fling a little bit. That looks good. Now there's a magnet on this that should grab that. There we go. Alright. Then we can take the cover off, or do the ends come off as well?
Oh.
Okay, there we go. There's one bit. And there's a couple of tabs holding that on. Lift up. And we can lift this assembly out, can we? There we go. Alright. There's the top layer that's got junk in it as well. Alright. Alright, we can have a bit of a look here. In the top here is this lever. This is what detects the toast. So if you're doing a single slice, you drop it in that slot only. And then we have around here the release mechanism. So it pushes in, lowers the toast up and down. And this is our trip here. This engages the contact here, which engages the thermostat. It operates forwards and backwards. You can see the contact assembly in here moving in and out. And sometimes these do rust up. This is one that my senior engineer here put together for me some years ago. I've lost track, probably over 20 at this point. So yeah, it is well overdue for a clean and a service. So I'm going to get a brush and get the rest of the crumbs out of here. This is something I should do much more often. We do have a little bit of rust going on in here too. So how to make a mess of a work area is open a toaster. So I think the concern we had is that we get crumb build up around the contacts and the potential for arc over. So I'm guessing where there's where crumbs can build up, you get moisture build up and it becomes conductive. I think with this is the adjustment to adjust the range of the toasting setting, isn't it? Because we've got, this is our arm that adjusts the distance in the thermostat.
Light and dark.
So I'm guessing that's the one. Yeah, because at the moment we have it on the upper 50% of the scale and sometimes almost at maximum. So I'm guessing we need to adjust that screw.
And that screw is left-hand thread.
Ah, that would definitely catch me out. I can actually take the wires out. Oh yeah, I see how it goes.
And you polish them.
Okay.
What you can do is a carriage. Scrape the guns off the carriage.
Yep.
You need a bit of molybond or graphite. Oil.
Yep.
And all these pivots.
Yep.
Any moving joint.
Yeah, so obviously it gets too hot for something like sewing machine oil and stuff.
Yeah.
So like a little bit of moly grease or something.
Yep.
So for the moment, not having access to that, I wanted to basically just give it a general clean and adjust, and I can come back to do it more thoroughly later. What we've done to get these out, obviously, they're hooked on the bottom here, and this little bit, I'm guessing you pushed that bit down and pushed it through the slot. How stuck on that stuff is. That's quite stuck on there. That could take a bit. Yeah, it's not very effective either by the look of things. So what I'll do is I'll finish cleaning these and finish cleaning the wires up, and then we'll put them back in. The other slot looks reasonably clean. Get that, we just push it through. That should And then we just get a little bit of gentle persuasion on this side. It should pop up. So basically the whole shebang happens in here, and it's difficult to see down the guts of it if I can find the viewfinder here, but up in the back in here is a little heat shield, and so your heat is reflected off the toast into that heat shield, and this little piece here is just to help regulate how much heat gets reflected back. And so it's solely reliant on how much heat is reflected off the toast. Apparently that's a pretty reliable metric for how toasted things are. So you can put frozen bread in here at the same setting as thawed bread. It'll come out at roughly the same toasting level. Obviously it's only got one thermostat, so if you put frozen in this side, thawed in that side, you're going to get mixed results. But still more reliable than a standard toaster. The other advantage to this is if you have a piece of toast in here that catches fire, it's going to turn off and pop up straight away, which I kind of appreciate. Now I am concerned that these mica sheets are very, very fragile here. I'm going to try not to handle them too much. So we might reassemble this. It is dirty as hell right now, but I think a future job might be to strip this down properly and do a really thorough video on cleaning it, getting it back to as close to original as we can. I'm giving the base a bit of a clean out. I do need to blow a little bit of air through here and make sure there isn't water sort of hiding in there, and we'll get it back on. Okay, so taking note of the one slice, that's the one with the little lever here, that slot there. Now I think we'll clear our crumbs off again for a second. So we're going to do our one slice off in that direction. That's our one slice there, so we're going to sit this up this way in position. Okay, so these are not gendered, so they should be the same on both sides.
One's got a little notch for the adjuster.
Okay, so that'll be that one. There we go. Actually, I think I've got two of the notched ends, so this, I think you did make this out of bits off memory.
Yep.
Okay, so what I think we've got to do here is lift that up a bit, hang that on the two lugs, and then drop that in. So that drops in like that. Come back to that. So our Bakelite base, so our contacts go over that side. This is going to be the tricky bit, is putting this back on in such a way that those wires slot back through those contacts. And firm but not over tight. Well, that wire is actually just scooted around to the side. I'm not sure if that's going to keep good contact. This screw is a bit ordinary. Okay, so we've got a bootlace connector here. Hopefully, if we wind this back, we might be able to put this in beside it in the hole, and then wind this up. Wait till it takes up and then see. I can feel that bootlace connector rotating. There we go. I guess we'll find out. I can see that wire picking up. Guess we'll find out when we cut it off. I've got to find some flush cutters now. Alright. It appears to have kept a good contact there. We'll find out when it doesn't toast.
It's going from dark to light.
Yep. So it's going dark. Yep.
That's lighter.
Mm-hmm.
And darker.
Okay.
So the screw's got to come out a bit.
And so righty loosey. Is that the case? Yep. So that's moving it that way.
Right.
Alright, so I've done that about one turn. And I believe it goes on top of that, on top of the Bakelite, but underneath that tag.
Correct.
At the same time. Okay.
Back in.
And we click that in. And with Bakelite, don't overdo the tension, because if it cracks, you're going to have a bad day or week. Alright, so recapping footage, it is definitely blue on the left. And there's a colour change. They used to have red and black, now gone blue and brown. I like to remember black and blue is what you're going to be if you get it wrong. So black and the blue are the same neutral, and red and brown are the actives. Alright. Although there are probably plenty more of these things, especially like old machinery where all the screws were handmade. So every single nut and bolt was unique. Now, our strain relief cover, and we haven't forgotten the screw on the end as well. Okay, we're going to check across, do earth bond test, are we?
That's a lead resistance.
Okay, so we're checking the elements. We should have continuity to the body, which would confirm we've got earth. So what we're showing on the meter there is, what are we? 2 ohms or thereabouts. There we go, 0.6 ohms I think for there for a moment. So not detecting anything between active and neutral and ground, which I would expect is normal. So that's 38.6 ohms across the elements. Alright, we've got it hooked up. We're going to plug the power in and let it reset. Okay, so I've just seen it go in. There's no toast in here. And then it should probably pick up the heat from the element because there's no toast to block it. It should click and pop back up again. If we go down to the lighter side, there we go. Should click, and then this bar will raise up. Now we have some bread which is frozen, but should demonstrate how it works. Alright, so we put our backup piece there, primary piece in here, and it should click, and then lower it down. Sometimes it gets stuck and I've got to do that. There we go. And it should lower it in nicely. Bread's a bit warped. We'll give it somewhere in the middle, which is normally where we use it. We'll see how it goes. Stuff that makes money on YouTube.
Yeah.
Watching a toaster toast. Oh yeah, it is toast. It's toasting well. I'll wind that right back. There we go.
Starts cooking, smoke signals.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the adjustment has definitely worked. It's toasting better than it used to. Probably a little bit too much. I might wind that knob back just a bit. All right, we've adjusted the screw back about half a turn. We did a full turn before, so we should be about right. Now this bread is also cheap bread that toasts poorly. Normally we use like bakery made like sourdough and heavier breads. This stuff, they add a lot of sugar to it, and so it does burn very easily. So this is not the normal bread that we'd use. And it's a little bit warped. All right, we popped. All right, set at the minimum setting with low-grade bread. We've got it right. So that's probably about as untoasted as we'd normally have toast. Now, waste not, want not. I found some canned butter. Can enjoy this. Okay, well the outside is mostly clean and shiny, and you can see me in the background here. But yeah, this is our Sunbeam Toastermatic. Hopefully in the future we can pull it out and do a proper service and get it back in ship shape. But for now, it's toasting correctly, and we're not so worried about it catching fire. So we'll see you on the next one, and I hope you had fun.